Okay, ready? Begin. Hello. Let me start again. Hello. My name is Chris. This is.
I'm Eric.
Thank you for joining us today. I kind of do so. Kanazawa Underground. Thank you for visiting our YouTube channel. I do it. We kind of started it. And this video is about the first video that we made. Eric translated a Chris Rock, Black People versus the N-word, and as kind of and I'm gonna get him to talk about that because like 3 months ago we got like 200,000. I'm gonna check.
I just checked before we started filming. The video is at 964,000 views, so just shy of 1 million views.
So I wanted to get like what do you call those videos? Like a callback?
You call those? A retrospective or like
there's a name.
Yeah.
We should try to read some comments.
Okay.
So to get right into it, so Eric, can you tell us about the video?
Sure. So I think I should probably start by saying that. This is something that I did 10 years ago, shortly after I moved to Japan. And, you know, I don't think it's something that maybe, like, a lot of people have, like, bad jokes in their past and stuff. I don't think it's that bad, but, like, I would be remiss if I didn't say, I don't think this is something I would do now. I don't know if it's.
You mean that it was race? The jokes were inappropriate?
No. What I mean is, I don't know that it's necessarily my place to bring something like that. You know what I mean? Over the past 10 years, I think we've learned a lot about how powerful that word is, and we've learned a lot of other stuff too.
Well, it's not over the past 10 years.
You know, I mean,
200.
Sure.
But it's been but I see it as like
personally.
It's 900. No, of course, but 900,000 views, and I think how did you watch? I wonder how you got the video. Like this is it was the first. It's always been the one with the most views, but I thought it was a beautiful piece of work. Chris Rock, and it's just comedy, but it all kind of came together. Like we're like Eric's nobody, I'm nobody, but we translated this really funny, and there's people translate stuff all the time, but Chris translated that Chris Rock one in Japanese, and then like a whole bunch of people saw it like last August, like YouTube something caught on. So no, but I don't think we were talking about, not to get off topic, we were talking about Dave Chappelle last night, and that's not the topic of today. But is that where you're going? That you think you did something like comedy?
No, not
like
at
the
all.
comedy
I'm just saying, you know, it's so kind of like.
Why did you make it? Can you see me if I'm like this? Can you see me?
I think so.
Yeah,
you're good. You maybe like scooch forward like that.
How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I've always been interested in. There's the concept of translation, and then there's the concept of localization. Translation being that you take something in one language and you translate it into another language. Localization being that you sort of change things so that they're comprehensible in the other culture. So sometimes you can't just one-to-one translate stuff. You have to localize it. And that was, you know, as I started learning Japanese and getting more into that culture, it kind of, I found it a fascinating idea of like, can you localize something that somebody has zero cultural context for? The struggles and experiences of Black people in America is not something that your average Japanese person knows very much about. And the bit that I translated is very much, you sort of need that knowledge. And I'll never forget, I would show the subtitled video to people in Japan, and usually the response would be, they'd never laugh, never ever laugh. But the response would kind of be like, naruhodo, which I don't know, like they say that a lot.
Well, also how long naruhodo means like I see, they get it. So
It means
say-
like I get it, but it was always like
they didn't
maybe-
think it was
yeah.
funny. So for you, that would be they didn't think it was funny or not funny. It was just it is what it is. But yeah, Chris Rock is because you have some history with him. You know what he's. If you've never seen him before,
Well, it's just
and with a cultural aspect, you have no idea.
that was another thing is America is such a melting pot of cultures that you can watch stand-up comedy by somebody who has wildly different experiences with you, but you like grew up in the country that everybody has been together in, so you at least have a context for it. And the idea was of like if you don't have a context for it. And I do have to say, like, not to toot my own horn too much, but I found that it was maybe a little predictive of, like, nowadays Netflix. A lot of these streaming services will produce original content, and one of the things they do is stand-up comedy. And Netflix, if they produce something as an original, will subtitle it in all of the regions that they're available. So now you have there's you can
Not everything. Not everything.
They're not everything, but their original programming, 100% guaranteed. That Dave Chappelle, which was produced by Netflix, lots of other stand-up specials. I remember I watched like an Aziz Ansari special with my girlfriend at the time when I lived in Japan.
You watched Japanese, and it had Japanese subtitles.
And it's just they all have Japanese subtitles.
Right.
And it was the same. It's the same exact thing. It's like, first of all, that person. I have like a small idea of how difficult that person's job is to translate that, because I did it with the Chris Rock video, and also just like I don't know, man. Comedy's so hard to kind of. There's some comedy that's like, like Mr. Bean, like a dude falling down, that is pretty universal. But then there's a lot of stuff where it's like,
For sure.
what do you do to be able to translate or localize that in a way that lots of people can understand?
How long had you been studying Japanese before you translated that video?
I do have to say that, so we were working at English school at the time in separate cities. We were at different schools, but it had maybe been a little over a year, and I relied heavily on a coworker who was a native Japanese speaker. Megumi helped me out a lot with the translation of that video.
Thanks, Megumi.
Yeah.
We miss you. For sure. So you got some help. So you'd been here you probably just started like a year and a half, and you finished around like 2 point. Because I remember
Something like
after
that.
2, I
I
remember
didn't look at the upload date.
I would catch him at every once in a while. I'd catch him finishing it up,
But
and then
that's-
so about 2. Okay, I think a lot of people who know, some people at the beginning when we posted it first, like a long time ago, some people were like impressed by the language, like the language, not skill, but just what it was. It was a pirated Chris Rock video.
That's
that
a
just
good thing
had,
to
like,
mention, too.
on-screen titles, like that wasn't CC. That's just Premiere. Logic. What did you use?
Maybe Sony Vegas.
Vegas.
Like a pirated copy of Sony Vegas, and like hard-coded subtitles
Right.
into the.
For sure.
But a good thing to mention is that video was like claimed by Universal Music Group or whoever owns Chris Rock's stand-up about 5 minutes after it got uploaded. We've never made any money off of that. We cannot monetize that video. And
I'm glad they let us keep it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just put like a claim to take it down.
Right. Cool. So let's see. So for all of you to know why if you looked at my channel, thank you. But if you came through that video and then you looked at, we lived in Japan, and so we liked
Sorted by popularity.
If you
and saw that there's a 1 million view video,
Right,
and then
right.
a bunch of other stuff.
I think my next video is maybe like a couple thousand, maybe like 2,000-3,000. But some kids from where are you from? In the
Virginia.
United States. Virginia. I'm from Denver, Colorado. We're in my backyard. So I wanted to introduced him. Start a YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber. I'd like to put out a little bit more content, but I thought it would be fun to get this video out, show my boy Eric, and to get this recall on this Chris Rock video. And so what was the any other question? I mean, you saw it. Yeah, I wonder if you liked it. We got a bunch of comments. I hope you liked it.
Unless you're one of the people that left a bad comment. It's funny because
So
go ahead.
So I got the reason I found so it's connected to an email account. My YouTube channel is connected to an account that I don't look at that much, and I opened it up, and I saw comments. Some guys like, you can't put that in the title, and what I realized is we just left it in the title as the N word, and some guys like, you shouldn't say that, and I thought about it like and it took me like 24 hours, and I thought about it for like the full 24-hour period, and I was like, I can't say that, and so I put it in stars, but I left the katakana Japanese, how it phonetically runs out. I thought that was important. But so that's how I found out that it was like bumping in views. So end of that blurb. That's how I found out.
But
the comments. Yeah. If you didn't like it, thanks for watching. And if you liked it, awesome. A bunch of people commented. Any comment on one comment on all the comments in general? And do you have any comedy-wise or culture-wise?
I'm not going to throw my hat in on either side of the comment war, but I think as I just mentioned, I didn't make the video with any sort of political slant or anything like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Some of the comments, the only comments I can full-throated come out against are the ones that says, "Why is there Chinese on this video?"
It's Japanese.
Learn to identify the different character sets of Asian languages. Please.
We all need to do better, Lots of Russian characters, lots of Arabic. We could all understand more, but don't say that unless you know. Don't say anything unless you know.
That's a good, just in general for YouTube comments. Maybe you could even clip that down to just say don't say anything, but don't say anything unless you know what you're talking.
What was the best part about living in Japan?
They just I think they work so hard that they have a really great system for when you're not working to just be peaceful. Lots of warm, hot springs, foot baths, just quiet moments, quiet short moments that don't seem to exist in the same way in the United States of America. It's pretty go here. You got to carve out your own piece in this country. In Japan, there's little crevices for you to take sort of refuge in every now and then.
Awesome. I would just, it sounds, but just take ramen. I like ramen, but everybody goes through waves of just, things they like, food they like, things they do. I'll just eat ramen and I'll just think of it, and I just think I'm so glad I live in this country. You'll get, and that's a quiet. The food is really you eat it and you're super excited you're there. So that's maybe my favorite thing. Not the food, but the simple things, I guess.
Yep.
Favorite part about Kanazawa?
It's 500,000 people. It might be bigger now, but it was at the time certainly the biggest city I have ever lived in, and still just sounds a little corny, but just everybody knew everybody and everybody was friendly as hell, man. Just a real kind of small town vibe, despite the fact that there were 500K people and just tons of people everywhere.
For sure. My favorite, big small city, and Oyachi from York, Oregon, a nice band, little rap, trap very good duo. He was like, you can go out in Kanazawa with no plan. It's a no plan city, and you can just have a great time. And I was like, that's good. You need no plan. You need no plan for that city, and you just walk, and you're set. You're good to go. What's the first thing you do when you get back to Japan after you quarantine for X number of days in X number of years? Whenever you go back, what's the first thing you're gonna do?
Just like, I mean, again, it's kind of lame. Probably just like hit the Konbini, man. You can't. People, it's funny because like I know there's so many YouTube.
That's like
videos
logistically about what you're actually gonna do first. Like a 99% chance you'll do that actually.
Just like, I mean, you know, off the plane, like bleary-eyed, 18-hour flight or whatever, go in there and just, you know, anything you could ever want under the like warm glow of 7 and eye holdings.
Lawson's, Famima, the big three, the big three. All right, well let's. We're gonna wrap this up. I wonder how long we've gone. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, if you want me to do a backflip, put it in the comments. Do another kind of video. If you have any questions about Japan, let me know. I'll tell you. What can I tell you? What could I tell you about Japan? I don't know. You got a question? You got a good one?
I want you to subtitle more incendiary stand-up comedy that has become a weapon of the culture war.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
No promises.
We can take that. We'll take that project on together. How about that? You're Japanese, man. Yeah, man. Slipping. You're slipping. Let's get back on it.
Certainly is.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Peace.